So today we are looking at factorising. Now factorising simply means to put back into brackets. So as we can see with our question here, 8x minus 20 is not factorised because there are no brackets there. So what we have to do is, first of all, we have to start off by, funnily enough, factorising. We look at factors. So the biggest factor of the numbers. So we're just looking at the 8 and the minus 20 here. Now we're going to ignore the minus sign for now, so we're looking at 8 and 20. The biggest factor of 8 and 20. So numbers that go into both 8 and 20, well, 1 does, but 1 goes into everything, so that's not really too useful for us. 2 goes into both, 4 goes into both, and that's it. So my biggest factor of 8 and 20 is 4, so that's going to be the first thing that I have, a 4 outside the brackets. Now the next thing I look for is any letters that are in both parts. So we can see that I've got an X next to the 8, but I don't have anything next to the 20, so there are no letters that I can factor out. So that means that I've finished factoring out and I can open my bracket. Now the idea is that I've got a 4 and a bracket, and I want to see what I need to times that 4 by in order to get the 8x that we've got there. So the way that we work is we do numbers with numbers and letters with letters. So what do I need to times the 4 by to get to 8? Well, that's going to be a 2. Now 4 times 2 will give me 8, but it won't give me 8x. So what do I need to times it by in order to give me 8x? Well, there needs to be an x on the inside there as well. So 4 times 2x will give me the 8x, so that part works. Now I've got a minus sign there, so I'm going to put a minus sign in here. And then I look and see what I need to times my 4 by in order to get to my 20. Now 5 4s are 20, so we've got a 5 in there. And then we've got our answer, 4 brackets 2x minus 5 close brackets. The way we can do a check if we want is we can expand the brackets. So I can do 4 times 2x is 8x, and 4 times minus 5 is minus 20, and we should get exactly what we started with there, so that checks out. Part B is a little bit more complicated, but we start off by looking at it in exactly the same way. So first of all, we will look at the numbers. What's the biggest factor of 10 and of 15? So 1 goes into everything, so we're not too bothered about that. 2 doesn't go into both, 3 doesn't, 4 doesn't, 5 goes into both. No 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10. So 5 is the biggest factor of the 2. So I've got my 5 there. Now we've looked at the numbers, we have to look at the letters. Are there any letters that are in both parts? So I've got an x squared here and I've got an x and a y here. Now, because x squared is x times x, and because xy is x times y, we can see that I've got one x in both parts. So I can bring that outside as well and put that as a 5x. So I've looked at the numbers, I've looked at the letters, and I've factored out as much as I can. So now I can open the bracket. And now I do exactly what I did before. I look at what has to go inside, so when I multiply out, I get exactly what I started with up the top there. So numbers with numbers, letters with letters. 5 times what gives me 10? Well, that would be a 2. X times what gives me x squared? Well, that's going to be x. So 5 times 2 is 10, x times x squared, and that gives me the 10x squared that I've got there. Minus sign here, so minus sign here. 5 times what gives me 15? Well, that's 3. And x times what gives me xy? Well, I've already got the x involved, that's on the outside, I just need the y, so the y goes there. So 5x brackets, 2x minus 3y, close brackets, and that is our final answer.